Hey, welcome to Tech Talk, a new show and hopefully a series that we're featuring here on RGCA, TV 17. We'll be
We're going to be talking about technology today,
even
right?
though I can't talk.
No, that's perfectly fine. I mean, because that's what this technology stuff drives a lot of people batty. So
Yeah.
there's nothing. When you put technology in front of people, sometimes they go, I don't know what to do.
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about, that and all this mobile stuff that's come about that's brand new.
And right now
To a degree, I
we're
guess.
inside the technology.
Yeah, we're inside of it. We're using it today, every day. We have phones, we've got iPads, we got them all laying out here that we're going to talk about.
Okay. And we're going to talk about mobile technology today. And
Mainly, yep.
how would you define mobile technology?
Well, today there's all kinds that I would consider mobile technology, from your phone to watches now that's out there, to just about anything that you can carry, to anything that you can stick in your pocket. There's a variety of things that you could call mobile now.
Those activity tracking devices?
Yeah.
You know,
those,
people jogging,
yeah.
walking.
Yeah, to find out how many miles you're walking, how many calories you're burning, all that stuff now. You can consider all that mobile.
What else? GPS device, would that be? Car?
You could, yeah, because there's GPS right here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's all that stuff that interacts now and tracks you and follows you everywhere you go. And
Hopefully not by Big Brother.
well, I don't know about Big Brother, but maybe little brother's following us everywhere. I can tell you that big G word up there, that Google thing. They track everything and such. So, yeah, I don't know as we can hide anymore.
Yeah, well, those guys down the south that escaped from prison are trying.
Yeah, true. They're trying, but
if
they're
you
hiding
don't use
down.
technology, you can hide a lot better.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. But
Anyway.
hey, well, yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, we have also Kingsley Meyer with us.
Yes.
Who's Director of Campus Computing Network.
Good
in Rio
afternoon,
Grande.
gentlemen.
How you doing, Kingsley? Good.
So we'll have a discussion here about a few things about mobility.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, Kingsley's got a laptop, looks like an Android tablet there, and looks like an iPhone or something.
Now, would you say a laptop is a mobile device? I mean, it kind of is, but I guess as some people have defined it in the past, it wasn't, sort of.
I think it's probably better to look towards concepts rather than hard definitions. Mm-hmm. When the first Commodore computer came around that had a cover that you could close up, they called it a luggable, not a portable.
Right.
But to me, mobility means that it is going to connect to something. Mm-hmm. So whether it's cellular or it's a broadband connection through Wi-Fi, to me, that is what makes it mobile. And earlier you were talking about a GPS system. GPSs, while they move, may be self-contained, a Garmin or a TomTom. But today, you've got your satellite in your car, which is talking to or a voice is calling you. And to me, maybe that's mobility as well, because not only can they redirect you for a route, but the car dealers are now saying, we've got Wi-Fi in the car.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
and
Wi-Fi is going everywhere.
it is.
And it's a very wide discussion today.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about the devices, different types of devices, apps, what they're used for, and it's really quite wide open.
It is. It's worse than shooting a shotgun pattern. It really is. When you talk mobility.
So you started earlier, are you worried about it? Are you concerned about it intruding on your personal life?
Well, to me, you kind of think about that. It's almost like when you first started using a credit card online, kind of a thing. And I still question myself when I use it. And I'm like, is that really a good site I should be using?
And that should be of anything that you're doing. Is that a good site?
Yeah, because there's so many ways that they can snag that information so easy, so quickly, and so that's why I still question
And some people are paranoid about their numbers that they have attached to their accounts.
Yep.
But if you use a checkbook, that piece of paper is being scanned. It has your identity numbers and all that stuff attached to it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of blurry.
It is today, probably, without, you know, who knows what people have on everybody else.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to talk about, I don't know if you watched the Apple discussion that they had this past week. The new iOS, is, I think they're going to get rid of the home screen where you can choose all your apps.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do, I think, is make it more predictive. Your phone is going to know where you are, and then make suggestions of, you know, what you might look at. It may look at the time of day and where you are, and make, you know, when you hit the on button, it'll make suggestions of maybe what activities you're doing. If you normally take a walk in the morning, you know, at 7 a.m., it'll say, hey, you want to listen to your iTunes now. And if you're exercising, maybe the pace of the GPS may be going quicker, so I'm going to choose a playlist that fits that pace.
Yeah.
So it's getting, I don't know if you say a little bit more intrusive or helpful.
I guess
you could
say
look
that.
at it either way.
Yeah.
Depends on if anyone, would they say they're not? Depends on if anyone's going to store that information of where and what you're doing all the time.
Well, let me ask this: if they're not storing it, how are they figuring out what we're doing? So they can change.
They say that it's on the phone itself. The tracking is on the phone, and so it knows your habits.
Well, what do you think?
Do you
Kingsley?
trust everything?
Yeah. No, what do you think about that, Kingsley?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't trust everything.
Yeah.
And whether it's a major data breach of government information or announced today, a major password storage program just was hacked. So they're thinking everybody's passwords are now out in the wild. You must just sort of assume that everything's going to be out there.
You have to.
Now, how we protect ourselves, what sort of security do we have for our banking, our healthcare records, and what's the worst that could happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think we're going into a whole new world.
Yeah.
And in terms of the predictive, part of phones and operating systems, part of me says, gosh, that's cool how they do that. The other half of me says, that just creeps me out.
Yeah.
It's like having, it's like being in the car and, you know, you're talking with somebody and they finish your sentence. If it's my wife, that's okay. We've been together for a long, long time. But if I become, you know, that predictable.
Yeah, your phone's going to know you better than your wife does.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think we grew up in the right generation to see space shots and have technology introduced.
Yep.
So our schools that got film strip projectors and technology after the Sputnik time, you know, we have seen this introduced. And whether it's our universities or the large corporations that have gone out and researched and come up with great technology, it has had tremendous impact on everything from business to our personal lives. And, you know, I always second guess myself. You know, how much am I spending on technology? I have this desire and lust for new devices.
Yep.
And today, I mean, I brought an iPad, an Android tablet, my phone. You asked about the laptop. I consider it a mobile device because it connects to wireless, and I can go into coffee shops and get online.
The only difference with the laptop is it's not as small, you can't put it in your pocket. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's size, but today they have tablets with keyboards
Yeah.
and really, really small laptops. So, you know, I think that's broken down. To me, the mobility part of it is that it is connecting and communicating outside. Yes, a laptop that is not online is still mobile.
Yep.
But today, for the sake of our conversation, I think we're talking about how mobility has taken what we're doing and sent information out, and it's either being stored or it's being acted upon.
Do you think our generation questions the whole tracking thing more than, I don't know, a 20-year-old?
We have a diverse population of people our age. But let me tell you about last Thursday for orientation. We had 100% of our new students that entered Rio Grande for orientation coming with mobile devices. So we set up with the ID card in a room, and they make the new ID cards, they sign them up for emergency messaging, and they activate their email account. And we always say, would you like to have help setting up wireless in your mobile phone? And I had 100% of the students that I helped, say, let's do it. Now, it used to be they handed you the phone and say, would you set it up for me?
Yeah.
Now it's just simple, oh, what do you have? Settings, this, that, and we have done it enough. We know exactly what the next screen is. We're predicting
Do
that.
they know how to do it?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did. Now, we do have some post-traditional students that will come in at times, and they will, say, I don't have a phone.
Right.
Is a flip phone a mobile device?
I think it has to be a smartphone before it's mobile.
Ah, okay. So the capabilities of the device, its smartness
Has to
index, is part of mobility. And I buy that.
Yeah.
I buy that. What was the first device that you had that had smarts?
Oh,
I think I had a Palm Pilot type of a thing
that would probably be, yeah.
where I had, it wasn't
And it was a
it wasn't with
black
the
and white
phone
screen.
yet. It wasn't with the phone yet, but it had, my contacts and all that, and it would do some web searching and email. So I was carrying a little Palm Pilot and a phone at that point, and then it got merged.
Yep.
Everything in the past, I don't know. Well, technology in general, when it moves forward, is sort of about merging things.
Did you ever have an incident?
I don't know.
Incident.
Okay. I had a Palm Pilot at one time.
Yep.
And we had a gentleman come in to work in the bookstore. And I went and beamed my contact
Oh, right.
to the other person.
Yep.
He turns around and says, you just beamed me your daughter's social security number, hospital registration.
At least he
Oh,
told
whole
you.
thing.
We're both
Yeah.
K. Myers. And then all of a sudden I went,
Uh-oh.
oh my gosh, the things that can go wrong are just endless. And I was very casual about it, thinking, oh, this is cool. Like we're bumping phones and I'm transferring it, through infrared.
Yeah.
Yet that was a wake-up call. And the things that can happen today that can go wrong, whether it's the GPS app that's now telling you how many miles and your speed and rate and calories burned, is also a potential stalking tool.
Oh, yeah.
And we always tell the freshmen in Gateway to Success, said, be really aware of the location services that you have turned on. Yes, I love the radar. And this time of the year with the storms coming through, I want to know when that red dot, purple dot's heading towards me.
Right.
But I really don't want everybody to know that I've left my house and I'm on vacation. Break
Exactly.
in, come on over.
Right.
But that's what location services can do.
Oh, yeah.
Kingsley and his wife are eating at blank restaurant. They won't be home for an hour.
Right.
Right.
So I think
I know of people that's gotten their house broken into because they know they go with the church.
Yeah.
Or they will go through the obituaries. Well, they know that person, and they'll be at the funeral, and we're going to hit their house.
Wow.
But, I think there are both sides. And for people that are practitioners of technology, we use it in our jobs. We were responsible to an organization to kind of lead that path. We get it. But, John and Jane Doe that say, well, I want to get a phone, and they really don't understand that. We don't have time to assist everybody. And there's not in the public domain a lot of news columns and shows like ours where we can try to spread out some information for the public good and safety.
Yeah. Safety, huge.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking about a sociological issue. As far as communicating with people, we have a lot of different ways to communicate. And I've seen the way students do this and my own children and stuff. You've got a phone in here, you've got email, you got text messaging, you have
Instagram,
Facebook Messenger, Twitter. You have all these ways to contact people, and it's with you all the time. But, you know, I've talked to students, and I didn't know about this, I didn't know about that. Sometimes you rarely get calls from kids and people. I was thinking about
notification system.
I was thinking about...
two more.
I don't know if you would agree with the analogy. It's so available that we don't use it a lot. Sort of like whenever you get married, you know, before then you may be real hot to trot. After you get married, things maybe dry up a little bit because it's always available.
Can't believe you use that.
Okay.
But since it's there
On
all the
the
time,
technology. No.
That's
good.
What
That's
are
interesting.
your main supported notification and communication channels? On our campus, I believe we're going to say email is generally considered reliable. Our telephone still on our desk is reliable. A cellular phone as an alternate. We have a Microsoft product called Link Skype for Business. It's a quasi-telephone system, video conferencing. We're transitioning to that, as many businesses, and the Ohio State University is. But I don't really consider a Facebook Messenger business. And if somebody is going to communicate with me, I consider that personal. It's on the other side of the divide.
That's on the other side. You know, I think you're right. I think there is a set of apps, I'm going to call them apps for now, that is more business related and more apps that are personal related that I tend to run into, that most of my business, they communicate with me on those few apps. And family, friends, stuff like that, they communicate with me more on that side. The Facebook, the Twitter, things like that. And then on the business side, it's more just straight text and phone call and email.
I guess I'm the other way
emails
around.
From family and friends.
I'm the other way around. I handle a lot of the Facebook stuff for the college. I get a lot of messages from potential students or students through Facebook. Sometimes they'll message me through Facebook. I also have a video and photography business. That's my main outlet and communication tool for that business.
Now, do you see a generation difference using that? Does some of your older clientele Facebook you with messages, or is it that that 20, 30 range, and below that's doing that on a regular basis? Now I see your students.
I think the age is creeping up.
And
well, I think it is too. Yeah.
Again, the edges and the boundaries are always blurry.
It is.
And
but I think they're always moving.
Now, Facebook is a social networking application. It was created for that, so people in higher ed could know other people in higher ed.
Yeah, it used to be you had to have an EDU address to get into it.
There were classmates.com, and then there were channels and sites for people to get together for schools, or you grew up in Barrington, Rhode Island. That is still not a corporate or business push of information.
Right.
Now, it is, whether it be a local coffee company wanting people to like their product.
I think it's a huge marketing tool.
It is.
Which
it's
is
a marketing
business.
tool. And the university is definitely involved in that. But I do not expect my supervisor to send me a Facebook message to my personal identity. And we have not established business identities on behalf of the university in that social networking environment. So to me, that's sort of where I'm going to see it fall on one side of the divide.
I guess it's a type of communication.
But we communicate with our prospective students out of band until they have been registered for a class and we give them an email address. We're going to send them their bills and official notifications to that email address because we have control over it. We have to archive it. It is admissible as e-discovery information, and like our documentation, we have to have that stored.
Now what we're doing is what you're doing, and
I can't
the
control
university
Facebook
is
stuff.
right. You can't control that, and that's where the security comes into play, and that's a whole other ball game when we get
No,
to
on
security
Facebook, I might
and
put out
mobility.
that the refund checks are out.
Right,
in
and
general.
that's just a general,
Right.
that's a general, but you're not naming who they
Oh, no.
are and
I
things like
expect
that.
to see the university
Yeah.
on the silver screen before the feature show,
Yeah,
but I don't want to see a notification to me down there in front of others.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's, again, there's a lot of different ways of looking at that.
There's lots of
for
different
me,
ways.
I'm comfortable with separating out my professional and my personal social life.
I think in some degrees you have to, but in others I think it's depending on some of the job duties and things that you have. That you're doing more of the social media,
Right.
so that's going to be more of an avenue that you're going to be getting contacted on a regular basis. We don't really have that responsibility, right away. We're more trying to do the security part, trying to make things work, things like that. And probably 90% of our communications are probably still by email,
Right.
to each other or from people.
Can you hand me that sheet of paper?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sure can.
This morning, prior
Yep.
to the show,
Yep.
I felt I should write down some talking
Some
points.
notes. Yeah.
And I tried to be a good practitioner and send this out electronically so that we could have collaboration and knowing that that geeks are going to put a mobile device out there on the table,
Right in front of us.
turning off the ringers, that we would be able to share this.
Yep.
But how many of us print out a copy because it doesn't go to sleep, it
Right.
stays the same size, we may want to expand the font size for our vision,
Yep.
for those of us who carry an extra set of eyes in our pocket. And I know one of the strategic goals that we have is to try to go paperless and to
Absolutely.
try to promote mobile devices. And I still find it hard myself.
Oh, I do.
And I know it's not for everybody
Yeah.
that are my colleagues.
No, I don't carry paper and pencil into meetings.
I typically don't either. Yeah.
I take my phone or an iPad, and
Yep.
I was in a meeting with the previous president once, and I'm taking notes. It's like, get off your phone. It's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking my notes, because if I write it down on a piece of paper, it gets put in a pile,
Yep.
and I never see
You
it
never
again.
see it again.
On this, I can search meeting with president, boom, it comes up, and I have those notes wherever I go.
How do you keep track of everything? Your desk is now clean, but your cloud
You haven't seen my desk, I
mailbox
guess.
is full.
Yes, yeah. You ought to see the email box, the Evernote box, all these different things. They're just stacked full of stuff.
But it's
What's a safe
know.
number for messages in an inbox?
Right, mine right
10,000?
now. I was going to say right now, mine like 8 or 9,000. Yeah. So, is there a safe number?
well, it's all stored in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
There is going to be a high number.
Safe versus how many do
Yeah.
you review?
That you really go back and find.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, I've taken some vacation time this summer, and I'm going down, and I'm going like, wow, that came in 5 days ago, and I haven't responded.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for an out of office message, they wouldn't know that I'm kind
That you
of
wouldn't
checked
even
out.
got it. Yeah.
And I was like, I need to set my out of office message. I need to go and put my telephone message.
Put a message on there that you're not
And
going to be in.
it's just getting to be too much.
Yeah, there's
Really
a lot
is
too many
there's a-
avenues to take
yeah.
care of.
So a new hire comes in, and we're saying, okay, here's your computer, here's a cell phone. This is how we do things. And within 5 minutes, their eyes glaze over, and they've just had way too much information.
Yeah. True.
Now, do you see more avenues for more things to come together? Sort of like the phone and your message or your email. all coming together. I know there's a GPS device you can get for your motorcycle or your car that combines the weather information and the map.
Really?
Which I think is great for a motorcycle, but you still have to pay a subscription fee for it.
That.
But you know, I can go down the road and I can see ahead of me what kind of storm I'm looking at, whether I need to put on my weather gear.
Doesn't the NOAA weather app, do that, or is it just Google Maps has the ability to track your navigation, but they don't have a layer for weather yet?
Yeah, there is a Garmin device that has those put together.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And another third party that's
There will always be a new app,
meshing
a
things
new
together.
feature to an app, and whether it's useful or not, the public will sort it out.
Oh, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
free market.
how many note apps do you have on your phone? You're an Evernote user?
Evernote.
Okay.
Yeah. Evernote. I also use Keep, which is from Google.
All right.
So yeah, there's a couple. So.
Is there anything else you would want to merge? I've got a camera, a video camera.
Yep. Everything's there.
I've got all my communications.
Mm-hmm.
Medication reminders. Oh, that's probably already in there.
That's probably already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
That's a good question, and maybe that's something that we can come back to again and such, and because I think this conversation can go on for many shows with different things.
And then there's wearable with watches and everything.
Yeah. We never really touched wearables.
Am I going to have this whole thing on my on my hand?
Yeah.
I need better glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that little watch.
Have you heard of the term going dark?
Yes.
I
saw it on
turning
TV.
things off?
I think it's Sunday. We're supposed to go dark, put our devices away, get together with our families for a meal.
Yep.
And I know companies that have said no mail on Fridays when you're off.
Nice.
I think it's a good trend. We need to spend time with ourselves, with our families, and sometimes just go offline.
I agree. I agree.
Have that rule to put your devices up during dinner and when you're out with friends and everything else.
Absolutely.
I haven't heard a phone go off in a meeting or presentation for a while. It used to be that somebody would forget to flip it, and you would have announcements. Would everybody please turn off your phones?
Turn off your phones.
And I haven't heard that announcement. But then again, I haven't heard people that were embarrassed by a ringer.
True.
Yeah, there's a little bit more forgiveness. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this month's Tech Talk, and hopefully you'll join us again next month. Not sure what we'll be talking about, but we'll be
technology.
We'll be digging through the electronics to figure out what to do.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So thanks for joining us, and see you next month.